Hi folks, my name is VP Health Sciences Classroom Services, and I'm here right now in one of our new classrooms in the Health Sciences Education Center to talk about how you could join a Zoom session or use the Zoom rooms that we've integrated into our classroom spaces. Now, all of our small seminar rooms, our 16-seat capacity seminar rooms, as well as most of our large auditoriums are Zoom rooms. And the only classroom that is not a Zoom room is still Zoom. So you are able to either host your own meeting or join someone else's Zoom meeting from any of our classroom spaces if you need to do distance learning or classroom or just wireless sharing of your content. So right now we are in PWB 3150. It's one of the quads in our ALC number 4 skills classrooms. At the touch panel here, you would touch Zoom room, and that would start the system on. And what's happening here right now is you'll see that the touch panel has gone into Zoom mode, and if we go to the projector, you're going to see that the projector has turned on and it is now also in Zoom mode. That's the dashboard for the Zoom, and you'll note that the dashboard says tap controller to start. So this is the controller to start. The touch panel that controls the AV also controls the Zoom system. So at a very basic level, if all you needed to do was join an impromptu meeting or start an impromptu meeting, something that was unscheduled, click the Meet Now button, and you'll see that the Zoom room just starts its own meeting. It generates its own meeting ID, and on the screen, what you would see is the camera of the far side, whoever would have connected to you. You have the controls here that allow you to mute your microphone or to stop your camera or to share content. Similarly, there's the security button, which is important now for folks, where you could lock your meeting or enable the waiting room feature, or you could also change the screen share settings, allow people to chat, allow people to rename themselves, right? So we'll back out of that. The change view setting is where you can toggle between speaker mode and gallery mode, basically just like you would on your computer when you're joining a Zoom session. Switch camera is where you would be able to choose the different camera views in the Zoom room. Now in this one that we're in, there's just the one camera, so switch camera wouldn't help, but some of our other classrooms have 2 or 4 cameras in them, and so you'll be able to toggle through those cameras. Camera control, depending on the room, it will impact your ability to zoom or your ability to pan and tilt the camera. Manage participants button is just like on your computer when you're joining a Zoom. A list of all the participants. If the Zoom room is the host, or if you are the host, you could mute or unmute folks as you need. You could also invite folks. Generic email with the connection info is created, and then you would just which is how you would connect a video conferencing room to a Zoom session. Something like our ALC number 1 or number 2 in the HSEC building, or some of our older video conferencing rooms we have throughout the University of Minnesota system. So backing out of there, there is a record button that will be enabled that if you are not in the Zoom for BAA account, meaning if you're not needing to be HIPAA compatible, then there will be a cloud recording feature on your Zoom meeting, but if you are not HIPAA compatible, then you will not have this recording feature. And then the last button I was going to show here is the chat feature. You cannot chat from a Zoom room, but you could see other people's chats. And what would occur is the list of chats would appear here in this window. You would get a notification on the touch panel, but also you can have the notification show up on the screen, whether it's just a little blip that shows up for 5 seconds or a full panel. And let me just actually show you what that full panel might look like. There it is right now. Let me get rid of that full panel. So coming back to controls, that's the basic gist of managing a Zoom meeting using a Zoom room in one of our classroom spaces. I'm going to tap leave now, which is going to end the meeting since I'm the only one in here and I was the host. There is this how was your experience, and you can certainly answer that if you'd like. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention though is that there are 2 other ways of joining Zooms. If you are joining someone else's Zoom or you're joining your Zoom as host, you can click the join button here, and then type in the meeting number and hit join, and that connects you to that Zoom session. So if you know the meeting number, that's one way of connecting. The other way of connecting is through the meeting list. That's the second option on the left here. That would bring up a calendar with today's scheduled Zoom events. And our office, the Health Sciences Classroom Services office, we can schedule your Zooms in our Zoom meetings if that's what you would like. And what would occur then is you would see your meeting listed with a start button, and when you're ready to, you just hit start, and that puts you in your meeting as the host. And that's certainly a very easy way of doing things, and it also lets people know that the room is booked and that they can't do an impromptu Zoom because someone else has already scheduled a Zoom in this space. Scheduled Zooms always take priority over impromptu. One of the interesting things about scheduled Zooms is that Zoom rooms have an auto record. For folks that have the cloud recording, you could actually automatically record your Zoom rooms if you create that setting in your own account and then schedule your Zoom to our Zoom room. When the Zoom room joins, then it would also automatically start your recording. Now, let me go back to one other thing that's fairly important to you. Let's go back into a meeting. I've talked about how you could change your views and change your cameras and mute, unmute, and stop your videos. The thing I haven't yet discussed is sharing content, which is probably what most people will be doing. By tapping the Share Content button, that brings up this menu, and let me show you the projector screen. It also shows up on the projector screen. Basically, from the room computer here that we've got, or from your laptop or your tablet or your mobile device, however, wherever your source of information is coming from, you would, in the browser or using the Zoom app, we're going to open up here on this workstation, Chrome. We're going to go to share.zoom.us, and we're going to type in the meeting number 835-205-4219. Okay, and what you're going to see then is a very similar experience to when you're actually joining a Zoom from your computer. You'll see the Open Zoom Meetings question, and then now you get your share screen. Right, your share screen right here, just like you would in a regular meeting. And I'm going to click that I want to share my screen. I want to share my computer sound because maybe there'll be some video, and I want to optimize screen sharing. So I'm checking those two buttons to give me the best possible quality screen share. And I'm going to hit share. Oop, and there's a disabled. So let me just hit a button to allow multiple shares. Probably a setting that we need to fix, but here we are. So now we are, you see that they've got the green box around this monitor showing that this screen is being shared. The touch panel has now gone back to normal mode. The menu has dropped away. But if I show you the projector screen, there it is. The room computer, which is not being connected through cabling right now, is showing content on the projector via the Zoom. It's wirelessly sharing to the Zoom. If I had done this with a laptop or an iPad or a mobile device, it would have been the same thing, just wirelessly sharing to the Zoom. So folks in the classroom that are here live would be able to see your content, but also folks at the far side, at a remote site, would be able to see your content, and you'd be able to interact with them. Now, if someone else on the far side was to share content, you would stop your share and allow them to share from their side. And again, you've got this allow multiple participants to share feature as well. That would allow for multiple people to share at one time if that's what you want, or just to allow one participant to share at a time. And so now in a full-fledged Zoom session with screen share, with video, with audio, and with recording capability from inside one of the Zoom rooms here in the HSEC building. Again, my name is V. Paul with Health Sciences Classroom Services. If you've got any questions at all or need some tech help, some tech consultation, I'm available. Let me know. We're looking forward to hosting your courses and events in our spaces. Thanks very much.